Well, I think the industry, the advertising industry right now is in a bit of stale. It's very, very stale. And I think a lot of us don't have a clear instinct as to how to pull this off and how you integrate into the digital world and do something amazing and that see it as a obvious way to grow. It's difficult, and I think the big boys are just gobbling up everything. You know, they'll eat anything that's on the plate. And what we're trying to do is get a more intimate understanding of what's possible and who are the great people we need to be working with, and figure out those kinds of relationships. Colleen DeCourcy joined us and she's on our global team as a threesome, and she's magnificent, and she helped us reorganize the digital people we had. So, and she's bringing it to life, and we're getting a lot of momentum going now, and I feel very happy about that. There's some amazing things on the horizon that we're not on to come to public right now, but it feels pretty good. But no, it's a difficult transition, I think, for everybody, really. Well, I think the industry is, and I speak for ourselves, I'll just speak for ourselves, but I think we're really good at storytelling. We know how to tell a story, and I think story is something that is probably one of the most important things in communication, but it's not the only thing. It's by a long shot, and it's getting those two different cultures together and figure out how do they scratch each other's back. That's the trick. And I just wish I were younger. I wish I could see this thing out longer. But I love the fact that it doesn't quite fit yet. And then maybe we can make something really interesting. I guess if there was one thing I could wish for was that there were more independent agencies that were determined to remain independent. I think we can't let money be the sole reason we're doing this shit. There needs to be a sense of wanting to do something that is more surprising, that's an art form. I mean, if all you want to do is make money, then that's a way to make money. But what we're trying to do is do something special. We would look around at inside our agency or most any other advertising agency that I'm acquainted with, and the number of, or the percentage of people of color in our agency is ridiculously low, and in the industry is pale white. And it just seemed crazy to me, because a lot of times all these young white folks that we have in the agency are trained to take the culture basically that comes from the inner city and uses that to sell it back into that. And that just seems completely fucked up. It's just wrong, absolutely wrong. So one of the things my family and I did is we bought some property out in the Cascades of Oregon, and brought in kids from the inner city and kids off of reservations on the other side of the mountain and the small towns that were suffering in Oregon, and brought them out to Caldera and brought in artists and naturalists, and got these groups talking together and bringing some of the finest artists and creative people. And it's not necessarily about advertising, but it's helping them find their voice, because a lot of the solutions in the inner city is kids having a sense of identity to themselves, you know, that they find their own voice, then they have a place in the world. So it's been magical for us. I mean, we're in our 18th year out there, and a lot of the kids that have been there through the whole program, and it's a year-round program. It's not just a summer camp. And the kids are coming back and helping us run the program. And it's the most important thing I've done in my life. Well, I'm damn close to retirement. I kicked myself up from president to chairman, and so I'll give a perspective on things, but I don't try to run anything anymore. And it's important to me that the agency struts out and does their stuff without me there. I think the best example for me is when Nike started getting bombarded with issues with regards to labor in other parts of the world. And it was a shock to Nike, and it was a shock to the agency, but what happened was Nike stepped it up and helped work the problem out. And I mean, I think that's a completely legitimate way. And it's not like they were doing something on purpose. I mean, when it came to, they realized what was happening and they dealt with it. So, I mean, the ethics of Nike, I think, are pretty damn strong. I have no issue, never have had an issue with their practices. I found their whole point of view is making everybody in the world an athlete, you know, and I have that sensibility and that sense of freedom. And so no, I feel perfectly fine with that. I can only speak for myself, but it is important to us to make sure that we have the kind of clients that our people can do good work for. And there's times after a while that you realize this is not a relationship that's working. And so we've said goodbye to several of our clients at our request. And it's what the difficult part of that is that sometimes you have to get rid of staff to keep the financial balance. So, but actually, it's the healthiest thing you can do, is you have to have a group of people that want to work to each other and that respect each other. And then when that happens, then the culture is very strong. But if you're keeping clients just because they're giving you money, what's the point of that? I mean, if people can't get good work done, I mean, that's their livelihood. That's what they're here for. They want to make stuff. They want to change things. And if there's not a productive relationship there, somebody's got to say goodbye. And we're fine with saying goodbye. And you know, this happened last year. We let a couple of clients go, and we had to let 40 people go out of Portland. And we had emails running all over the place from people that were letting go saying, thanks for the time, it was fabulous. I'm going to miss this place. And I just think that's the way life should go.